Hello everybody, we're in West Norfolk again today, but I've gone a little bit further this time. We're in the coastal town of Hunstanton, and over there you can see a pigeon balancing on the hedge, and beyond the pigeon there is the coastline of Lincolnshire, which is the first time another county has appeared on this channel. Some simply wonderful housing designs around here as well. So today we're doing a 2.08 mile walk. So a lot simpler and shorter than the last one, and I'm now making my way to the bus stop at Lincoln Square, which is the starting point today. It looks like the first half is going to be along the beach, and then the second half is going to be walking through the town. So stick around to see if you get me moaning about generic streets, generic cars, blah blah in the second half of the walk. Music today is from my mixed playlist again. I'm listening to Stone Sour at the moment. I'm sure there'll be a wide variety of listen to everything on the way here. From Kane, one of my favourite local-ish metal bands, to Simply Red. So there's a massive mix on this playlist and I'm all for it. So this walk is returning to using the Komoot app, having taken a break from it when we went to Dereham. So this is one of the routes listed on there. Right. Here we are at the bus stop. The walk is starting. So we've got to head down the hill to start. It's a perfect August day. It's pretty busy. So let's see where we go. So I had to turn left at the top of the hill to go down past the cliff, and I came past the cafe and decided to get a nice fresh milkshake. So 30 seconds into the walk and I've taken a break already. Hammered my way through the topping and now it looks like Angel Delight. How delightful. Tasted like Angel Delight too. In fact, I swear it was Angel Delight. Not a problem for me. I love Angel Delight and I don't get it very often. So that was a treat. That was £3.50 for the basic milkshake, and because I added the creams and marshmallows, £4.50 total. That cafe has these nice little alcoves so you can tuck yourself away, and the view over the cliffs is breathtaking. So yeah, really, really good. I'd love to have that full cafe experience another time here, because I can see that's going to be tasty. They do full meals, and wouldn't have one during the middle of the afternoon after a huge lunch, as is the case today, but definitely be back. Right, so now we're going to walk along the top path here for a while. I don't think we're going down there yet, but we will be soon. I can't really effectively film the path I'm on because there are so many people about at the minute, as one might expect for the Norfolk coast in August. So this path is the Rice Lemming Way. It's running just above the North Promenade. We're staying on this Rice Lemming Way for a little while. I know that they turned some road signs round to throw the Nazis off the scent in the war. But this one, King's Lynn, is not in the sea. I get Lincolnshire being that way, but King's Lynn is the way we're walking. It's definitely not in that same direction. Unless you're going to surf there. So we're continuing down Rice Lemming Way, and we'll take a turn onto North Promenade shortly. I've taken a turn onto Freeman Kilpatrick Way now to head towards the beach, and you can see there's some palm trees behind me. Palm trees in Norfolk, who would have thought it? Right, we are now heading towards the beach through the North Promenade car park. It's a cool little bit of rock there, red rock, possibly granite maybe? Or maybe just seeing red rock and thinking granite means I've played too much Minecraft. Good job I didn't bring the pup. Going down the staircase now. Pretty busy further along. Don't know if you can see clearly on this camera, but there's a lot of people up there towards the fairground. And that's looking back towards Old Hunstanton. The tide is sort of pretty well in. I can't figure out if it's going in or out yet, but it's yeah, pretty high up really. We've only got this amount of space to the wall. So, quite a jump there. Today I'm going to be a bit of a wimp and take the much lower bit. Interestingly, on this walk, the points are a bit muddled up. Point 5 is the first point we come to, and then we go to point 1 and we end on point 4. So yeah, a bit of a strange one. And point 5 is a little way down the beach. I'm now coming up to a lot of people, so I'm not going to film a massive amount, but I will let you know when I'm at point 5. Right, so I'd say we're just about at 0.5 now, which is where this big building here is. And there is what I believe is a tour boat. It's called the Wash Monster. Okay, so for all the jokes about my feet getting wet on the last walk, they might actually get wet here because the tide's coming right in. I am going to try to make it across onto where there's more beach again. Wish me luck. I cheated and climbed up that bit. Got a little bit of seaweed on my hands, but nothing I can't solve. I am going to carry on because thankfully where it was at its worst, there was a little staircase, so I've climbed up onto it and I'll go straight back down onto the beach the other side. Yeah, fail. Epic fail. I think somebody else gave up trying to keep their feet dry. This stretch of where I'm vulnerable to getting wet from the sea has definitely went on for longer than I thought it was going to. And I guess that answers the question of whether the tide was going in or out. It's definitely coming in a bit. It'll be a miracle, even though it's hot, it'll be a miracle if my feet are totally dry at the end of this. Although, at least that'll help with cooling. Not voluntary, but I'll take it. Right. Anyway, we're through that bit now, so we can keep on walking along the beach. Hand has got some seaweed on it from my little adventure. It seems crazy now to think that I believed I could get across that if I timed it and judged it well. Anyway, we are now heading to point 1. The beach is absolutely packed. So many people here enjoying their summer. It's really good to see. Right, so this was what that Wash Monsters was all about. Tours, 30 minutes coastal cruise, and they also, I think, do seal safaris, yeah, and 1 hour coastal tours here. Now coming past the Adventure Golf Course and coming up to the Sea Life Centre. Right, just gone past the fun fair. That is so fun fair! And I've weed on my trousers. Interestingly, it's only been about 10-15 minutes tops and my feet are feeling quite dry already, so that's good progress. Now coming up to point 1, which means that we're about to go into South Promenade and leave the beach and then walk around the town a little bit. Here is today's star seagull. My feet are still covered in sand, so they feel a little bit heavy, but it's drying. The sun's gone in a bit and it's a bit overcast, but it's still nice and warm. And as ever, walking on the beach physically isn't the easiest thing. You do get quite a bit of resistance, but it's been good. So for as far as the beach stretches, really, there's still people along it, so it's a good mile and a half of people having fun. Also, if you can see any coastline in the distance there, that's actually going down towards King's Lynn, so that's now on our side. There is a bit of a gap somewhere in the middle there where it goes into the Wash and into King's Lynn, and then out the other side goes up into Lincolnshire. Also, there was a big slipway where I was standing, massive slipway, but I couldn't film that because there were so many people there, and someone would have moaned, and yeah, no point getting people moaning. They'll just pee us both off, so yeah. Let's keep positive vibes going as some sort of craft is making its way to the beach. I think here is another Wash Monster having its day off, this one. So I've now turned back on myself and we're heading towards the town. So we turn to the right there with the car park now on our left, and some arcades on the other side. Okay, so I've come off the beach and now I'm on this main road going past the supermarket. I did say I was going to complain, didn't I? What the hell? All this generic built up stuff when I've been on a lovely beach, blah blah blah. Seems like a few trees are already shy of leaves and it's only still the first week of August. Now on a serious note, being as serious as I can be, beep beep. And still on a serious note, I've forgotten what I was going to say. On another serious note, woo, car park. So back to the original serious note. I think when I looked at the route, I thought, it can't just be a generic beach walk and then back through the town, can it? I thought maybe it would take me a bit further. There were pictures of cliffs on the preview. Didn't see any cliffs. It was just around the sort of commercialised, people sit on part of the beach. Would have liked to maybe just send me a bit further, see what's out there. Because, don't get me wrong, it's beautiful. And I love coming to Hunstanton, it's a great place. But you just feel like there's not a standout element, a massive wow factor, other than the, you know, the stuff that's going on, the natural ambience of summertime. But on a quieter time, filming would have been easier, but it would have just been another generic sort of seaside walk, really. Maybe I'm just getting too fussy in my old age. So we're currently on Southend Road. I don't know why, because Southend's like 3 hours from here, but we're on Southend Road nonetheless. I should have done one of those moody foot shots along the beach with the stones and stuff. We'll have plenty of beach walks, we'll do that another time. So I've just turned onto Westgate and I'm now passing one of the bars I like to visit when I come here, which is Wrigley's, of an Irish bar. I'm going to see if they're open. It's only like 4:30 or something, but see if I can go in and get a drink of Coke if they're open. Don't know why I said Wrigley's, it's O'Quigley's. I do like to have a game of pool here.
I'm Shauna, and I love a shortcut.
It's another good reason for me to do walks out in the countryside, because when I'm in built-up areas I find ways to spend money. I love how on this light the beard looks pretty cool and not like a mess. The light has suddenly gone. Whoops. By the way, I forgot to count the points, but we're now at point 4, or near enough to it. So one thing I would say is this walk is supposed to take about an hour. It's definitely taken longer, even with my stops, definitely taken longer. I'd say more like an hour and 20, hour and 30. Right, so suitably refreshed and back on the route, back towards the cliffs now. I'm not sure if the camera brings it out, but aside from the boat you can really see the sea glistening in the sunshine. It's re-emerging now. Well, that was Lestrange Terrace that we were just walking along. What a Lestrange name. And now somehow Southend Road is re-emerging ahead of us, so it must just be a little route through the town, and then it must just re-emerge to meet the town centre on the other side. So that big building that I said we were behind earlier at one of the points must be the pier, but the pier from the back, which wasn't marked. So now we're walking past on the side of the pier that we can see it's the pier, and that means that we're not too far off the end. We've just gone past point 4, which I believe is the pier itself. My ankle's a little bit sore now, probably from all that trying to bounce out of the way of the waves earlier. Hunstanton in the summertime. Pretty busy, pretty vibrant. What a lot of people don't see is how depressing the winter is for a lot of these coastal resort places. I think what am I getting on about Southampton for? Hunstanton does retain, I think, an element of charm in winter. I have been here in winter, but certainly for places like Great Yarmouth, the winter is ridiculously tough, and I'm sure there'll be people from Hunstanton saying it's a similar case here. Going back past the entrance to North Promenade car park now, but taking the high ground a little bit compared to earlier. Now this brings us back to Reese Lemming Way. Now on the old Lemmings game, didn't they used to jump off the cliffs or something? I have no intention of doing that today. I'm not a lemming. Might be a bit of a lemon, but I'm not a lemming. So the great floods of 1953 did affect Hunstanton quite badly, as you can see. But what a way to honour people with a garden this beautiful. The crows certainly agree. And there's those palm trees again. Back at the junction that we turned off earlier to go across the North Promenade car park. So this walk, although it is a circular route like the majority of those that I do on this channel, this one is a little bit different. So there's a loop down from the bus stop to the point that we just met, and that means that the last little point is retracing ground we've done, and then the loop was kind of once we got to that point. But the plus point being that it's not quite so busy now, so I'm getting to film a few bits that I missed or wasn't able to film earlier. Someone looks pretty comfortable. He also, the camera doesn't show it, but he looks a little bit wet, so I think that pigeon's been for a bit of a dip. Or in the words of Manuel from 40 Towers, pig eon. Does that mean it's been eons since I saw a pig, Mr. 40? It's still telling me that King's Lynn is over in the middle of the sea on the way towards Lincolnshire. And while we're at it, if you go into Suffolk that way or along the North Norfolk coast, that is a very, very long route to take. Cromer is about right though, because the North Norfolk coast road, on a map everywhere looks pretty close, but it winds and twists and turns, so yeah, there is quite a while. It does take quite a while to get from one place to another along the coast road. Coming back up to the cafe where we stopped for the wondrous Angel Delight flavoured milkshake earlier. I think Hunstanton has that contrast. There's some bits that are traditional seaside town and then others that are uniquely Hunstanton. So Esplanade Gardens, that's the bit that we just walked through. And now making my way back up towards the bus stop, which is both the start and end point for the walk. Tesco meal deal for my tea tonight, so I can stay out in Hunstanton for a bit longer and maybe enjoy the town a little bit off camera before I go home later. Although there's parts of the walk that are just, we're walking alongside road and stuff, it didn't take too long to get from that to another point of interest, so it wasn't like the bit in Dereham where we were walking down a main road with no character or features for a good half mile. There's been more to it, plenty to keep the interest. So one last look at the boat on the horizon and the coastline of Lincolnshire beyond that. So this sort of cliff part, it's so nice, and I've seen people just relaxing in deck chairs looking out over the hedgerow into sea. It's fantastic. Keeping true to my style, I've completely walked past the end point and gone too far, so I'm now going to go back to the end point, because traditionally the end point is where I review the walk, of course. Right, so back at the bus stop and time to review the walk. This seems like a nice little place to sit and gather my thoughts. So I think overall I'd give that a 9 out of 10. I think, okay, there were some jokes about this and that, but there's a lot of things here that are uniquely Hunstanton, and yeah, there are some things that are generic coastal town, but you've come to a coastal town, so you're going to get some of that. I think walking back down a normal road into town was about the only thing that let it down. I mean, I do like Hunstanton. I spent a lot of time in my teens and 20s basically forgetting it existed, so when I was coming up to the coast, I never came here. So now it's like a treat, because it's like a new place, even though I have been here a few times. Obviously, walking along the beach always provides its terrain challenges. It's been great. I managed to park along the road near the cliff for free. You can park there, I think, all day until 10 p.m. There's no waiting overnight. But that was good, because it meant that I was able to do my walk at my leisure and spend a bit of money in some of the businesses in the town. And I actually think, I always have high expectations of visiting beaches, but I actually think that the cliffs are the nicest part. It's something that's uniquely Hunstanton, and I really like that. And the most memorable part was the challenge posed by the tide coming in, which I actually enjoyed. The challenge of how long will it take my feet to dry off. They feel a little bit damp, but otherwise they're good. So a 9 out of 10 for Hunstanton overall. Really enjoyed it, enjoyed the drive out here. It's been a perfect day weather-wise. And all that's left to say now is, if you've enjoyed this, please do remember to like and subscribe. Subscribing is free, and it really helps the channel out, meaning that I can get out and do these sort of things more, and I can go to more places, I can go further afield and show you the wonders of those places as well. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this, please do subscribe and support the channel, and it's much appreciated. Thank you very much. I'll be back with another walk soon. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you for your support. Take care.